Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Michigan International Speedway, Brooklyn, Michigan, rather. 2-mile big-time super speedway for the veterans for life Crusin Classics Next Gen Series. Good evening, folks. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got the Australian Dean Biggles up here who's going to be giving you some fantastic camera angles and also doing a little bit of commentating on the side. And I know there's a couple of you out there or that watch the ARCA series on Thursday nights going, oh, we got the redneck again. Yes, for a couple of times here on the Next Gen Series. Yeah, you're going to get the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, but more to all that here in just a second. Go ahead and run off the grid as they are getting lined up and getting ready to rock and roll. Steve Tucker, he's going to get the pole with a 38.647 right beside of him. It's going to be Joshua McQuiggan in that second spot. Patrick Drebeck, he's going to be a car to be watching out for here this evening. He's going to start in the third spot. Old Eddie Smith, how about that? Good for old Eddie. He's going to be starting in the fourth spot. Brandon Evans is going to be starting in the fifth spot. More on Brandon here in just a little bit. George Joel is going to be starting in sixth with Jason Taylor in seventh. Ricardo Bernal will be in eighth. Then Mark McCrary ninth. Jake Ellingson will be 10th. The rest of the field, Jamie Barkus, Scott Formosa, Daniel Cunningham, Kyle Westby, Robert Barber, Brandon Wallace, Lucas Lyons, Chris Sawyer, Bobby Germain, Ryan Pendleton. That is the top 20, as you will see the rest of them on your screen as the pace car is starting to pull off. Going to leave them in the hands of Mr. Steve Tucker and Joshua McQuiggan. Here we go. It's going to be some very, very fast racing here tonight at Michigan, and we got a green flag. Steve Tucker all on the gas, McQuiggan up on his outside. These guys got to go through all 5 years to be able to get to the top speed. And Dean, this is going to be good right here as McQuiggan already using outside him. Wow, Tucker's going to get stuck 3 wide. Four
Four
wide
wide.
right behind him, but McQuiggan is going to be able to get away with the lead. But here comes Drabek and Eddie Smith on the outside. He's going to take the lead.
Talk about bringing some excitement to the show immediately here at Michigan. He said it's going to be a fantastic race, and these drivers are definitely out of the gate and racing as quickly as possible. And congratulations, everybody, because we just peaked our 500 followers on the YouTube channel. So thank you very much for the support. These drivers at the moment will love more and more people watching them, as it looks like a nice little push is coming to shove there. And Brandon Evans, isn't it? Right there, that's the 39 machine.
Absolutely, and folks, I mean, that is awesome to hear right there. 500 followers, folks. Let's go for 600 followers. Get down there, like the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, follow them, all that good stuff. Go ahead and leave comments, and also out there in the live chat, shout out to every single one of you. Let's hear it from y'all. Who do y'all think is going to win this bad boy here tonight? Right now, it's looking like Eddie Smith, because Eddie is putting on a damn clinic right now. He is straight up checking out from McQuiggan and Steve Tucker. Right behind him, here comes Brandon D. Evans in that Premier Racing Setups. Right behind him, and then also right behind him, George Jewell. And actually a shout out in the live chat, I believe that is Shasta, as he's saying, good evening, this is our home track. And George may be seeing something he didn't like. He's going to pull out a line, but there you go. You're riding on board with Ricardo Bernal. He's up here. He's going to get up in the middle of this right here, Dean. He may end up having something for old Eddie Smith here in a minute.
Just gets the OT done
Maybe
there.
not.
Oh, just gets the OT. Somebody's in the fence at the background there. Just a little tank slapper against there. They're starting to slowly catch Eddie, leading this one at the moment. Brandon and Steve Tucker are going to be working side by side here to try to catch the number 87 machine. 3 positions gained since the start of this lap. 97 to go. Plenty of racing.
Yeah, we got a long way to go right here, Dean. Still a long way to go. And one thing is, we got a wreck back in the back.
Oh.
Caution is out. Scott Formosa in the number 80. He ends up getting head on into the fence. Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Scott Formosa. Wow, hard contact right there. And Dean, this all started right off of turn 2. Well, I guess you could say right in the middle of 1 and 2. Scott's going to be up on the top side. There you see the number 80. They kind of get 3 wide. Lucas Lyons and the 4080s down on the bottom, and then looks like Formosa just makes slight, very slight contact with the 91 of Westby. Sends him straight over into another car, and then he ends up going head on into the wall. Got to be very careful with these cars, Dane, because these toe links, they can break on the front of these cars, on the back of these cars. There's toe links all the way around these damn cars. You got to be very careful. If you end up breaking a toe link in these things, you're not going to be over with. But looks like Scott is able to get going under good power, so it looks like he didn't break that toe link. But obviously, he's going to have a little bit of damage here for the very first caution.
Can you explain the toe link to me? Because I've never heard of that before. Sorry.
Well, I mean, what the toe link more or less is, I mean, and from what I understand, folks, I'm going to go ahead and let you know, yes, I'm a redneck, but I'm not a mechanic. I just go by what I hear off of TV and from what I've seen. Basically, it's what links, I mean, basically what it links the wheel to the suspension, more or less, and if you break that, you'll see it. You'll know it 100% as you see a lot of guys actually easing down pit road. But, Dean, you'll know it 100%. If you start seeing that wheel start flopping around all over the place, it could be the front wheels, could be the back wheels, however you want to look at it. You start seeing wheels flopping around. That's when you end up having a toe link broken. And that's going to take a little bit of time to
missing
get
that pit
fixed
spots
as
there.
well. Taylor actually missed a couple of spots right there. But basically, that's what a toe link is. If anybody out there disagrees, light it up in a live chat, because that's the best I'm going with. I'm not a damn mechanic, but that's from what I can get at it.
Okay. Oh, another one missing their pit stall as well too. Okay, so I believe it's called a wheel tether. Then I think that's what I know. It's a strong piece of carbon, like it's a tether, so it's almost like a rope or a cable kind of thing, but it's carbon fiber, and that once again attaches us so the wheel doesn't go flying off. That sounds like what it is, right? Like.
Yeah, it's more or less the same thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, these cars obviously they came out in 2022. So these cars are obviously relatively new. Obviously, they're next gen cars. But still, Brandon Evans, thank you, Brandon, for going ahead and chiming in. I guess you're gonna be throwing it at me here in just a second.
Okay.
But toe link is a metal bar that you can adjust the direction of the tire. So I was close. I was in the
Wait,
ballpark.
how's Brendan typing
if you
that?
break
He's
it,
driving.
you can't drive it.
There he is.
Well, Brandon's a damn talent. I will say that. He's a damn talent. I will say that. And obviously, there you see on his car, Premier Racing Setups, obviously a big-time sponsor with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, as well with the Redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. And oddly enough, that we're sitting here talking about Brandon that he posted in the live chat, Brandon was actually the guest on the door banging download. We've already recorded our episode. We're just doing some fine polishing, going to do a couple other things to get it lined up and get it out there. So folks, if you have not checked out anything on the door banging download, go check it out. It's on Spotify. Very, very good podcast. I've heard a lot of great feedback. It's like I say on Thursday nights, I would be very careful who you listen to it around because you may end up pissing a couple of people off because it does get a little bit rough around the edges, so to speak.
And let me just adjust my audio levels. I apologize. I'm a little bit too loud. I'll go up and down a little bit. But we got the beef segment. We talk about a lot here on the Nazareth Network, even when you're not listening necessarily, or you are busy racing or commentating as well, too, in other leagues. But we're all like, wow, that's going to be featured on the we've got beef segment, of course, on your Redneck podcast. So, yeah, you're getting pretty famous there, my friend there, Jacob.
Yeah, a lot of people have actually sent me messages, and they were like, oh, you stole that from Mooncar. I said, no, not really. I didn't even know it was trademarked. Hell, anybody says it. Everybody says that we got beef thing. I just made it into a segment on a podcast. So I didn't steal nothing, if any of y'all are thinking that. But anyway, we'll get to all that here in just a little bit. As the pace car is off, Eddie Smith, he's the new leader up here. He's going to have Steve Tucker, who was on the pole. How about back there, Jake Ellingson? Started this race in the 10th spot. He's already up to 4th, and a couple of big movers back there with Brandon Barry, who started 21st all the way up to 10th as the green flag is out. Eddie Smith getting damn near turned all shove all the way down the front stretch for Brandon Evans. He was all on the gas, and he is trying to make it all the way to the lead. Eddie Smith up top, Brandon Evans down on the bottom, Tucker's up top. He's got Patrick Trebek looking to his inside, but up front, door to door, almost, wow, Brandon slides in just right in behind Eddie Smith to try to get that draft. So far, Eddie Smith holding off all challengers right now, Dean.
Yeah, Brandon was like, you're not getting away again like he did at the race start, and got a bit of a gap built up there. So Brandon put the challenge too. I'm up 3 positions gained as well too, these two drivers. You mentioned that from Jake. Where's Ray out there, of course, usually supporting Jake. Jake currently at the moment down P5. He's gained 5 positions. So one of the biggest gainers. Brandon up into P9 at the moment. That's the 53 machine right there, door banging. He's gained 11 or 12. So good work for them. It's a positive. When you have a nice big positive tick next to your name there and the positions gained, you're doing well. But you have 92 laps to go. Some of those drivers have already been down a pit road. That's from P18 downwards. Taking an opportunity to get some fresh boots and a splash and dash of gas. To see if that pans out later on for another. But there it is, my friend. So Brandon got the job done on Eddie eventually, but Eddie wants it back.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to get real crazy. These cars are very, very aero sensitive. I mean, you can easily suck up, get the draft. That's why you're seeing a lot of guys trying to stay within that draft, especially here at Michigan. You got to be able to try to get as much draft as you can. As wow, Tucker's actually going to take it to the outside. He's going to slide right by Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith, he's actually going to get bypassed by Trebek, by Jake Ellingson. Eddie Smith is dropping like a rock right now, but now he's going to find his way on the inside. Try to get going before McCreary ends up trying to get up here on this top side, try to get a run. Smith cuts him off. Here comes McCreary. He's going to pull it all the way from the top down to the bottom, get around Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith is dropping like a rock right now. He's going to have to see if he can find a little bit of air to be able to keep himself from going all the way down to the bottom.
You might have to explain that one to Jacob because he's getting up close to the fence there, but you do that on a motor freeway and you might get a little bit of road rage cutting somebody off like that. You see many videos of people getting upset about it. Well, you're not doing it at excess of 200 miles an hour at least, but yeah, explain as to what has happened. Is he burnt through, is Eddie chewed through his tires too quickly? Why is he dropping a little bit?
Well, I mean, it could be that. It could be that he's just back there just trying to save some tire, believe it or not, okay. Dean. I mean, obviously, this place, I mean, they are literally, I'll just go ahead and say it the way I'll just go ahead and say it this way, folks. These guys are hauling ass going into turn 1. They are going 200, possibly even 203, 204 miles per hour in these next-gen cars. They are straight up moving right now. So when you dive into turn 1, obviously it is banked up big time, but with that much speed, trying to ease it down, trying to get down to the bottom, you can burn some tire here in these next-gen cars. And Brandon Evans has said it best, that these cars, I mean, obviously there's a lot that you got to be off throttle. So I think that's what it is they're basically, I mean, he's just back there. I think he's just trying to save some tire, let these guys get up there and race it out like Patrick Trebek. Down on the bottom, Evans up top, right behind him, the pole setter, Steve Tucker, and then right behind him, Jake Ellingson also falling in line. But Trebek is not wanting to give it up. He wants to steal this lead from Brandon Evans, but Evans going to put it right back in front of him.
There you have it, as you mentioned. So that's good information about whether or not the drivers are going to be concerned about their tyres and playing the long game, of course, because it is a long game, 88 laps to go. Certainly maybe another caution. The way they're absolutely scooting these machines around the track, he said it, excess of 200 miles an hour. Good luck. There's going to be some door banging, and once again, it's going to be a switcheroo between Patrick and Brandon for the lead of this race.
Absolutely, Trebek down on the bottom, Evans up top, but Evans able to get the run off of the quarter. Tucker actually followed Evans. Now Trebek going to jump right in line. Tucker's going to give him the old how do you do right straight in the keister. But he's going to have to get out of the gas because obviously this is not like Daytona, which is where the DSR Electric Truck Series ran Monday night here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. They can't shove each other all the way around the track like it is Daytona. This track still has the speed like Daytona, but they can't shove each other all the way around the track. So Tucker had to get out of the gas. Now Trebek, he's going to ease up to the top side. Tucker down on the bottom. Jake Ellingson's loving every bit of it. They door bang a little bit with Tucker and Trebek.
Oh.
Still door banging. Tucker goes down to the bottom right in front of Lucas Lyons. Evans is checking out, but holy hell, that almost got big coming off of turn 2.
That could have been you got beef segment there at the moment, Jacob. But that's just door banging. It's wheeling and driving, and well, it is what it is, isn't it? That's what you do. You've got to push your way around a little bit. Just hope you're pointing in all the right direction. Lucas in the 48 machine, gaining his way up to the field at the moment, taking advantage of that 12 positions gain as he's witnessing this battle up the road between these door banging drivers.
I mean, they're doing some fantastic job, and a couple of guys, honestly, that we also need to take note of. Joshua McQuiggan. He's back there. He started second. He's all the way back here and around the 20th spot from what I'm seeing last time they went across the line. 21st. And you'll see him up there on the top up there. He has dropped back big time. Tucker's actually dropping back big time as well. The pole sitter, he's going to get bypassed by a bunch of them right here. Here comes Eddie Smith. He's going to ease down to the bottom side. Jamie Barkus not too far back. But a couple of these guys that we have seen up at the front, like Chris Sawyer, he started 7th. He's all the way back there in 26th. You got Ricardo Bernal. He's back there. He started 8th. He's all the way back there damn near dead last. So a couple of guys up at the front, or that started up front, they're already going to the back as we got a wreck on the back. Got a stop car, but everything able to keep going. But holy hell, I mean, there's just so much action going on. You got guys that start at the front at the back, and guys that start at the back already working their way to the front.
Yeah, you saw how fast those cars were at the moment. Look at that.
Now we got a
second.
caution.
Yeah, we have a caution. I think it's been a little bit day late, dollar short on the caution there, but it has been called. You can see how fast they are. The cameraman can't even focus. Look, it starts blurring a little bit. That's how quick they're going there, Jacob. Now, you would imagine that these drivers are probably going to head in the pit road, aren't they? Some of them.
I would say so, and the caution was actually on the 53 of Brandon Barrier, who's coming off a turn 2. Brandon looked like I thought for a second he actually, go back a little bit. There was a little bit of door banging right there with the 28. Oh, that is Brian Pervola.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they got a little bit beefy right here. I mean, I think Barrier just kind of comes up just a little bit. It might have met in the middle a little bit, give or take, but I still think Barrier may have come up a little bit. And then bam, I mean, he tried to slam on the brakes, and then holy, here comes everybody. Wow. Wow, everybody shot around him. Oh, boy, I'm telling you right now, he had that sucker locked down. He was just praying that nobody ran him over because it almost got super big time madness right there, honestly, for Brandon Berry. He did not want that. But, I mean, Dean, you talked about, these guys going into the pits right here. It's a possibility that they will go into the pits because you got to look at this for a second. See, they've actually got a tire limit here in this race. And from what I'm seeing 4 sets of tires. And folks, that's not 4 sets that they can put on the car. That's not counting the set that's already on it. They got 3 sets in the pits, 1 on the car. So that's how that whole deal ends up going around like that. So you're going to see some guys, they may go down, may go ahead and just take fuel only, try to save a set maybe for later on right here. I mean, obviously a lot of guys is going to go ahead and try to go get the fuel. It's going to be tricky to see who's going to end up taking a set because I believe every single one of them ended up taking a set on that first caution. We'll see how this turns out right here.
Exactly. We'll just check to see what they do. Now, just to indicate to everybody that may be watching this for the first time, watching these cars, you'll see it go up on the jacks. And how do you know that, Jacob? Will it go up on the left side, right side, and they change those tires so you know that they're changing left side and right tire? Otherwise, they won't go up on the jack, are they, if they're gassing the machine? Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what, is going to be the call on that right there is to, if you see them coming up and everything, I'll be honest with you, folks, if you see them sitting there longer than 5 seconds, they're taking tires. I mean, I guarantee you, they're taking tires because they're not just going to sit there for longer than 5 seconds. Wow, Napa car coming out of their side.
Everybody's going in. Everybody. Up for call.
Yeah, I think everybody went in right there. So, but I mean, I think that's, from what I've noticed, I believe that's, what you would see. But obviously, you see the car getting jacked up on both sides. Obviously, they're getting tires. Obviously, got their pit stop lined up. Folks, we're going to take a quick pit stop real quick that you hear from some of our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Okay.
We'll get it. Folks, we're back here at Michigan. Steve Tucker. He's going to elect to take that top side. Patrick Trebek's going to be down on the bottom. Brandon Evans. He's going to be lined up right behind Patrick Trebek, but Tucker was able to beat them all out of the pits. He gets to elect if he wants to take the top or the bottom. He ends up wanting to take the top. He's going to have Jake Ellingson right behind him. Jake started 10th. He's all the way up to 4th. Mark McCreary. He's going to restart this race in the 5th spot. How about Lucas Lyons? We talked about him a while ago. 17th, all the way up to 6th. Good drive by that number 48. That is the top 6. As the pace car is off, Tucker on the top, Trebek down on the bottom. They hit that Geico restart zone. They are gone. Evans slams Trebek right at the start-finish line. But Tucker's able to get away. Jake's able to get away. Trebek did not get a good restart. Either that or Evans just had his back tires lifted completely off the ground. Evans is wanting to go, but Trebek trying to hold it down on the bottom. He's going to open the door wide open for Lucas Lyons. Wow, Trebek actually threw him up into the fence, and now Trebek's going to go back. Wow, what a change of events right there, Dean.
Yeah, that's Patrick at the moment. Had to scrub a lot of speed off as he went into the fence. So dropping all the way back to P12 at the moment. Once again, it's still got plenty of time on his line. There's still battle. Oh! Was that George, is it? No. Somebody off into the grassy. If he comes back onto the track here, there's going to be a massive collision. Look at that five-way car field up here. Spread up the field there, Jacob.
Woo,
I got
boy,
a feeling
that was Lucas.
Caution
It was
may
Lucas
be coming.
Lyons.
It was Lucas.
Yeah, well, Lucas was the one
Yeah.
that actually got
There
into
he
it
is.
first, and then after that, everybody just, wow. Crazy racing, folks. You will see this here at Michigan. It doesn't make a damn if it's in a truck, Xfinity car, or in the next gen. Is there you see three wide lines trying to get back up there where he was at the point of the restart, which is get back up to the 6th spot. But he is basically all the way back here at the back. All that hard work that he had earlier on, he's going to have to try to fight it off and try to get back up here. As there you see the battle for the lead is Jake Ellingson able to get around Tucker. Evans now, he's down on the bottom. He's trying to get around Tucker. How about Mark McCrary? Haven't talked about him a whole lot. He's up here in 4th. And Joshua McQuiggan, how about this? He was back there damn near dead last need, and he's up here trying to battle for that 4th spot.
That's why you never give up. There was an accident between Kyle Wesley and Doug, actually, that didn't cause the caution. But they've gone in the pit road. Both of those cars you can see, well, you can't really see in your graphics at the moment, but they've gone into pit road. If I get a millisecond, I maybe have a look at that one, because this was further back. Yeah, look at that, straight into the fence. And they've come together, I don't know, again, or anything, but that's Kyle, and then Dougie. I'm sorry about that, Ray. Dougie was the one off under the grass there, has kept it alive just. Good fishtail in there. I think he keeps it out of the fence, but they've gone into pit road and back to the action.
Yeah, he done a fantastic job of saving that. And right now, McQuiggan is all up in the back bumper of Steve Tucker, trying to get Tucker to go and try to get him around McCreary, but McCreary fights hard on that inside. He's going to slide up right in front of Tucker. Now McQuiggan's going to take a shot down on the inside. All this going on in front of that Tide car back there, the 87 of Eddie Smith. And up front, Brandon Evans has caught Jake Ellingson. Ellingson down on the bottom. Evans fights hard, tries to pitch him down on the yellow line. Now here comes Jake trying to fight hard on the inside, but to no avail. Brandon Evans able to fight hard and take the lead back. Now McCreary, he's going to try to get the draft and see if he can get up here with Jake and try to get that 2nd spot.
I was going to say, at one point you had Doug Plump last, and you had Jake Plump first. So the Ellingson family had an up and down yo-yo between that one, but now Brandon Evans, of course, has retaken the lead of this race. And he's been up there, of course. But you know why, Jacob? Perhaps it's because he's using those Premier Racing setups. Is that the key to success?
It is. It very much is, and I'm happy to be a part of the Premier Racing Setup family. Just recently been a Premier Racing Setup, or a part of the family, and we actually got some action going on back there as we're trying to cut a promo in the middle of the race.
Wow.
Maybe we need to wait for the cautions to happen on that one. But wow, I mean, just hard racing all the way around this racetrack. I believe that was Tyler Justice. I believe it was. Maybe not. There's Tyler right there. He's going to try to take a shot right there where Lucas Lyons was. But wow, I mean, just so much action. But going back to your point, Dean, I think it's got a lot to do with that Premier Racing setup, strategy, and everything else. Because Brandon Evans knows how to get around here in these next-gen cars. You see some serious movement. Guys are going all the way up to the damn wall trying to find some grip here.
Yeah, I didn't want to switch away because there is action, of course, at the lead of this race. But that pack indicates to me that my camera, who's scraping up the fence at the moment, probably completely getting out of the way. Is that a lap car or a damaged car? Yeah, they don't want to be a part of that because you've got 5 or 6 cars. You got almost five abreast, 5 side by side going through there, which you don't see very often around here. You've seen 4 quite a lot there, Jacob, but pretty sure you can get 5. Not advised, especially if there's a slower car on the fence.
Yeah, and actually that slow car that you just mentioned that was up in the fence, 91 Kyle Westby, he was way up there. He was off the pace by a mile, and he was able to, like you said, with this track being as wide as it is, being able to make that work. And, I mean, honestly, if that would have been anywhere else, this probably would not have happened. It would have been a caution. It would have been a damn massacre, to be honest with you. It would have been a straight-up massacre in 3 and 4. But Westby back there, he's trying to gain up as much speed as he can, try to get going. He's 4 laps down. As there you see Lyons. He is trying to fight back. He was all the way back around the 18th spot. He's all the way up here in the 9th spot. Here comes, I believe that is Lucas Lyons up here as well. But, I mean, just so much action going on right here. I mean, Tucker's back here right in the middle of this battle with Pendleton. Ryan Pendleton, some of you folks may remember last season in the Truck Series here with Goat Locker, Pendleton was very, very good, and Pendleton is all but sideways trying to get around Dougie right there on the bottom. Tucker's going to give it the shove, and up front, Evans has got a rear view mirror full of Ellingson. It's like you said, Dean, hell, there is action all over the place right now.
Yeah, it's a production nightmare, but it's fantastic for the entertainment for the drivers. Got to make sure that wall's going to come up and get pretty close to you. As you can see, somebody, I think, oh, there it is. There is beef, there is action, there is fun racing between these drivers. You've got so many in the mix at the moment because you've got obviously a couple of cars being lapped. You got our race leaders with pedal to the metal. You got all these other drivers that are a little bit out of place because of early incidents and pit stops. And that just brings drama all over. And we have 69 laps to go of more drama here for the Veterans of Life Cruising Classic Series.
That's how you do it. That's why we love it. That's why we love racing, honestly. A little bit of drama if you want to do that, but obviously the sport of auto racing, that's what we absolutely love. And I mean, you're seeing a fantastic show back here. I mean, obviously kind of keep you up to date of what's going on up at the front of the field. It's basically a 3-horse race right now with Brandon Evans, Jake Ellingson, and Mark McCreary. But this right here is where all the craziness is going on, and I'm sure a lot of the fans out there want to see all the craziness. We'll let you know if anything crazy happens up there at the front of the field. But I mean, just look at this kind of racing back here. I mean, 3 wide all the way around. There you see the 33 back here. He's stuck straight in the middle trying to figure out a way to try to get around all these guys. I mean, that's what you get here at Michigan. It's like you said you don't advise the 5 wide. I say screw it. Go for it. Let's see what happens.
Yes, well, obviously you don't have to repair the car in your own pocket. But apologies out there at the moment. It does say ARCA up on the left-hand side, but we all know it's next gen. So once again, do apologize for that. Had to get all the everything ready. We are very professional here at the NASRA 360 Racing Network. But these drivers, let them show you how good they can drive the next-gen cars, because so far they've been quite fantastic. A couple of little moments, Jacob, but good door-to-door banging, good saves as well, too. A little bit of collisions. Not everything's been a caution. I'll tell you what, everything has been fun racing. Still Brandon and Jacob in the lead. That's Jake, sorry, not Jacob. I always do that all the time. And then Mark is starting to reel them in. And that 3 are starting to get a bit of a gap away, aren't they, from Eddie down the road. 2 seconds and change.
Yeah, and I think Eddie has tried to use the strategy that I was talking about. Oh, wow, 29. Quiggin almost lost it right there off of turn number 4, able to keep it straight. He's going to be right behind lines at Pendleton. But McQuiggan, he started up there outside pole. He's actually dropped back to the 8th spot. He was up there as high as 5th. Or 2nd, if you want to put it that way, because that's where he started at. But as far as racing-wise, we saw him a while ago as high as 5th. You see some of this hard racing back here. Look at this right here. I mean, that's what you got to be able to do, Dean. You got to be able to try to get in that draft, get in that slipstream, and try to cut it whichever way you got to go. Take the runs. The way that you can make it work is, we're going to get a little bit right here.
Keep it straight.
Right in front of
there it
Tucker,
goes.
but he kept it straight. No, they're going to slide around. Big time wreck. That's got to be a caution. Everybody piling in at the start-finish line.
I almost saved it, of course, but the problem is with the speed difference, wasn't it, between the other drivers? They didn't have really anywhere to go. And it gives a moment, actually, to catch our breath as Brandon Evans will be leading from Jake. And at the moment, I think that's Pineapples. Pineapples' name is actually going to be driving his first race in the ARCA series tomorrow. He's very, very nervous. Oh, interesting. And the ARCA series tomorrow? Okay. Well, obviously not on our NASRA network, because we have the Goat Locker tomorrow, as you're aware of. Look at that. It's just it's a war zone down there, isn't it? Different cars that we'll get back and have a look at the replay of that one now, Jacob.
Well, if he's talking about the ARCA race tomorrow, then absolutely, Pineapples, bring it on, baby. You bring the pineapples, we'll bring the beer, and we'll be ready to rock and roll and see how everything works out. But back there in the back, it was the 017, I believe it was, and that was Daniel Blow back there in the back. Tucker was back there as well. Wow. Oh, wow, folks, this is going to be interesting right here. But Blow, he's going to get loose right here in front of Tucker. There you see him. He gets sideways. Tucker tries to come up. Then he ends up getting into the 33 of Tyler Justice. And then at this point, I mean, everybody's just trying to find a way around him. Pulled Scott Formosa. Again, he gets involved right here. And then at that point, Blow's just straight up. I mean, he's a damn pinball at this point. Right, I mean, at the start-finish line, just straight up getting run over all over the place. Everybody just trying to pile in, trying to find a way to get around. Poor old Dougie, now he's in another one and then gets into another driver. I mean, that's what you end up seeing. You know, just, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It was just that Blow got loose right in front of Tucker. He comes down, gets into Justice, and he's just trying to control the car. But at the same time, everybody is just trying to find a way to get around him. And then, unfortunately, ends up causing a massive wreck. But, I mean, it is what it is. You see a lot of guys actually easing down pit road. One driver that's actually staying out. So Jake Ellison, he's going to stay out right here with Mark McCreary and Eddie Smith, Jamie Barkus.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe that was 4 drivers, only 4, I believe, that have stayed out on the racetrack. Actually, Lucas Lyons, and Ryan Pendleton, they also stayed out as well. A couple drivers taking pit stops. Folks, we're going to take one more quick pit stop under this third caution. We'll be right back. Folks, there you saw it. Premier Racing Setups. Go to premierracingsetups.com. Enter the code NASRA, N-A-S-R-A. You enter that, and you will get 15% off your entire order, and also 15% gets donated back to the North America Sim Racing Association. And obviously, if you want to drive the setups that the Redneck Announcer drives, and Brandon Evans out there, if you want to drive those setups, go check them out. PremierRacingSetups.com. I guarantee you will see those lap times drop big time. And another driver, honestly, or another commentator, Dean Robert Hill Jr., that calls the races with us on Friday nights in the Cops Truck Series. He's also a Premier Racing Setups driver as well. So a lot of fast guys. Obviously, you know, I mean, well, I hold my own, I guess. Robert he holds his own too. But like I said, you want to drive those setups, go check them out and enter the code, get that discount. Goes for a great deal. That's how you do it, baby.
Another thing to look at exactly, yeah, 100% correct about that. I'm not a racing driver, but I tell you what, I know a lot of racing drivers in all series course, road courses and all that. And if you get somebody that got magical setups, not the magical Murphs, one of our sponsors, but magical setups, then you will be a lot quicker. And of course, it's not just that, they also provide that additional support and stuff like that as well, too, to help you tweak it a little bit if you need help. But another interesting thing, so we've got a split pack at the moment. We got Brandon down there in P11th, okay? He's the first one on the freshest boots, because they boxed on that lap 37, just in that previous caution. The rest of that field above him, from P1 to P10, they're on the older boots of just that one pit stop. So let's see how that pans out for speed difference as we're going to get underway of 62 to go very soon, Jake.
Yeah, this is going to get very, very interesting. Pace car is off. Jake Ellison, he is the leader. He elects to take the top side. McCreary's going to be down on the bottom. Eddie Smith, Jamie Barkus, and Ryan Pendleton. That's the top 5. As we got a green flag, Ellison's able to get away big time. He's going to have Barkus all over his back bumper. McCreary did not get a good enough jump. Eddie Smith's going to be right behind him. Lucas Lyons, he's stuck up on the top side. Pendleton trying to fight hard on that inside, trying to find a way around Lyons. But up front, it is all Jake Ellingson. He is checking out big time, and Barkus is trying to get the draft, able to get it. No, excuse me, that is McCreary. McCreary able to get up here and get in that second spot, but now Barkus, now he's going to fight hard on the inside for that second spot.
But I for Eddie Smith as well. He's going to climb his way back in after that early incident. But you said there's Lucas Lyons there, Ryan Pendleton, of course, just 14 positions gained at the back there. Any other movement at the back? No. Brandon Evans, the man in P9 currently at the moment. So he has gained one place with those fresh boots. Keep an eye on him a little bit later on that. But at the moment, there it is, and they're starting to bunch in. All behind Jake. There you have it. Mark's now putting his car in there. So you got this 27, the 83, the 15, and Eddie Smith wants to join the party.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Eddie Smith, Dade. I'm going to kind of give you a trivia right here. Do you remember what Eddie Smith's sponsor was on his truck here in Goat Locker last season? Do you remember that?
No, my friend, I don't. I'm an old man. My memory doesn't give me too much these days. But you let us know, please. Or maybe somebody in the chat. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what. Everybody out there in the live chat, if you know what the sponsor of Eddie Smith's truck was last season before he went to Tide, anybody know that sponsor? Go ahead and light it up out there in the live chat. We'll see how many of you actually know it. But I remember it, and I absolutely loved the sponsor. And, Dean, I think you may end up knowing where I'm going with that because I straight up love the sponsor.
Oh,
talk about
I
that
think
here.
I know now.
Yeah. I think you know exactly where it's at. But right here behind them, actually, Barkus. He's going to try to get up here and try to follow, see if he can try to get as much draft as he can. Eddie Smith, you talked about him a second ago. Down on the inside of McCreary. And right behind him, Lyons. Here comes McQuiggan. How about this right here in the Napa car? Kind of looking like a little bit of a throwback, I guess you could say, to Chase Elliott back before it was next gen. And he's going to pull a Chase Elliott move down the bottom. 3 wide. Eddie Smith stuck in the middle with McCreary up on the top side. McQuiggan, he's going to get a hell of a run and go all the way from about 7th up to 3rd and trying to go for 2nd in 1 lap. What a move by Joshua McQuiggan to get up here and get a hold of Jamie Barkus for that 2nd spot, as it is a straight up damn hornet's nest all the way right behind him.
Sometimes you've seen that actually at the moment on this track, isn't it? When you go up on the high side, then he cuts straight up on the inner line, then the inner apron. You get so much more speed advantage if you get that all right. I'm not quite sure how that's going to pan out with your tires a little bit later on there, Jacob, because, you know, once again, it's a long race. But here we go. 5? Jacob, you wanted 5? Maybe. Close enough, my friend.
It was close right there. I mean, Tucker actually got doorbang coming off of turn 2, and then they was already 3 wide trying to go around Tucker. Tucker was all the way down on the white line, and at that point, yeah, 4 wide. I mean, absolutely beautiful thing to see, and you see that all the time here at Michigan. Like I said, next-gen car, Xfinity, truck, hell, a Mazda Miata. I mean, you will see 4 or 5 wide eventually here at Michigan, and that's why a lot of fans really, really love this track, because it always puts on a fantastic show. You see Jake Ellingson up here trying to hold down this 2nd spot, trying to get up here with Joshua McQuiggan, who has straight up checked out. Josh, remember this, Dane, McQuiggan, he took the fresh tires with Brandon Evans. McQuiggan showing those boots, like you say.
Oh, wow.
He is checking out, and he is rolling right here.
I can't believe I forgot completely about that. Yes, exactly. And look at that. They are doing it now, because Patrick's now up in a P4. And there you go. Steve Tucker now P9. Remember, all those drivers are outside the top 10 when they started on the green flag. And now they're starting to slice and dice through the field there. So we'll see how the drivers can hold on. But remember, at the moment, you said they are limited on those boots. They're limited on the 3 sets that they started with. So will that come into play? We still have 55 laps to go. We're not even halfway through this race at the moment. So if you do use those sets quickly, look out for those drivers that have saved it. And I think there is a bit of beef going on there, Jacob.
Yeah, there's a little bit back there. McCreary is all but sideways. There's Steve Tucker. Hate to see it for Tucker. Tucker's been beaten around like a damn pinball pretty much so far in this race. And McCreary, both of them come off of turn 4, had a little bit of a door banging incident, but everybody able to keep it straight. No harm, no foul. We are still green. There you see Eddie Smith was up on the top side. McCreary just gets loose. I mean, Eddie Smith never touches him. McCreary comes down, gets into Tucker. Both of them barely able to escape the pit entrance line and be able to get around it. Everybody keeps it straight, though. We still got green flag conditions, so to speak. There's Eddie Smith trying to battle with Scott Formosa, and also right there with Lucas Lyons, that number 48 as well. This is all up here folks, this is all up here around the 6th, 7th, and 8th spot. This is what these guys are battling for. Lyons goes all the way to the top. Here comes Barber in the 57. He's going to get a run. And here comes Brandon Evans, the driver you talked about, Dean.
Brandon's like,
one of the first guys to come
on.
out with fresh tires. Yeah, I mean, but he's back here in the back right now.
Well, because he's obviously clearly got a little bit more grip. He can explore parts of the track, of the motor track, where you're not really supposed to be exploring if you're on a little bit more worn tires. And that's exactly, he knows that advantage you have, and you know that for a fact. Those little 4 points of contact, it doesn't matter how quick you are as a race driver, you need those boots. You need them to connect. You need to have grip. You need to find parts of the track, once again, where you can get that overtaking done and move on from it. But also, you got to remember, you are limited once again on how many you have, and that's going to be a bit of a strategy call later on. And we've seen, I mean, Jake and hello Ray, we're waiting where you see at the moment. She said she just popped in at the moment. And, well, you could be good to know Jake's been right up the top of the timesheets at the moment. At the moment, he's got a gaggle of cars behind him. What do you think Jake's going to do? Sit there and battle with them, or just say, look, I'm going to save my tires to see how it pans out?
I think Jake's fixing to flip out because he is stuck 3 wide with Barnell up on the top side, or Bernard, up on the top side. Formosa down on the bottom. Jake's still stuck 3 wide. Formosa, he's going to be able to get away. Now Barkus, he's going to try to fight hard, as well as Bernal and Formosa able to get around Jake Ellingson. Barkus tried to take a shot right there with Jake, but was not able to do it. Eddie Smith, he's back here as well, fighting with George Joel. How about that? On track for Mr. Joel up here, starting in the 8th spot, or he's sitting in the 8th spot rather. Lucas Lyons, he's right behind him as well. Brandon Evans, that rounds out the top 10. But McQuiggan, he's got it out to about a 2nd lead right now over Patrick Trebek. These 2 guys are straight up gone, because the next guy is Scott Formosa sitting in 3rd.
You can see that just right up the road there. Right that little dot, the furthest dot you're going to see before he gets to the turn. Right on board with Brandon Evans for a second, because I want to see the difference. Brandon's on the boots, right? He boxed on lap 37. These cars of Lucas, just up the road there, and Jamie Barker's, they are on the older tires, the more worn tires. So have a look at the difference and explain how that feels as a racing driver. Now you've got more confidence.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a lot of confidence, obviously, in those tires. And I mean, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to sit there and see everybody kind of maybe struggling a little bit, and then you're just kind of just sitting there, just taking it easy, going, yeah, I mean, I can, like at this point right here, Evans, he can power down if he wants to right now. At least in my opinion, which actually he thought about it there for a minute, thought about a little 3 wide with Marcus and Lyons, but wow, yeah, that door shut real damn quick. But I mean, he can power it down if he wants to. But I think what he's doing right now, he's just trying to save as much tire as he can, because obviously, Dean, we've seen some big crashes here in Michigan, but this place has a tendency to have a long green flag run. And I think that's what Evans is actually anticipating right now, is for that long green flag run to catch in. That way he's back there saving all his rubber and be able to jump up here. And then with McQuiggan and Trebek, as hard as they're battling, as we actually back here in the back, I may have actually screwed him right there. Evans is going to get caught up in that one, as we got a caution on the back stretch. And yeah, I feel bad now. I really do. I feel bad.
I switched away for a second, isn't I? I kind of felt something was brewing because of the speed difference between them. And just as you'd mentioned, they were going for it too for now. Well, I've got the replay, of course, because that's the luxury we have here on the NASRA network. And so explain this one, I guess, it's just that speed difference, isn't it? Ooh. Oh, they tangled just ahead of them. Oops, sorry, I don't want to go back that
Yeah. Quickly. Yeah, that was the 48 of Lucas Lyons, and Jake Ellingson was stuck up on the top side. Barkus was trying to see if he could fight on the inside, but Barkus has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. There you see Jake all the way up on the top, Evans right behind him. And here comes Lyons. I mean, he just tries to get the damn car to turn, and it just will not turn, Dean. And then he ends up coming down and gets into Jake. Then he ends up getting into Barkus after he gets into Jake, and then he ends up sending Barkus around. Evans is just an innocent bystander. He ends up getting spun around as well. There you see he's got a little bit of damage, trying to see if that toe link is broken or not. And unfortunate right there for those 4 drivers. Some more drivers tried to fight through as well.
I think Jake did escape that double hit. He was quite lucky on that one. Ray's probably sitting there going, no! And you might be okay. They're going to head in the pit road, but naturally, at this point, it's a season opportunity. A few dinged-up cars at the moment, my friend. That might not buff out for some of them. Unfortunately, Doug's still sitting in the pit road. I think Doug's retired from this one after having not an early... once again, it seems to be the situation of the Ellingson family. It's like one driver's doing an amazing performance, and the other one, unfortunately, doesn't have the luck of the day. But Joshua in, after that massive, massive advantage he had, really, towards the end of it, he's going to be happy to see his pit crew.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, he's going to go ahead and take those 4 fresh tires, which is something you got to think about, Dean. You know, these guys burning through those tires, basically like they're burning through a damn credit card right now. So these guys, we're going to see how much, I guess you could say, credit some of these other guys is going to have later on in this race, especially if we end up getting a green, white, checkered finish. That is really going to throw this sucker for a loop 9 ways to Sunday. So you see a bunch of them starting to ease off of pit road. Obviously, Eddie Smith shoots out very, very nicely and able to get out there as well. But how about this? Steve Tucker. Steve Tucker, he's up here on the front right here. Yeah, he was able to jump up here and get the lead. So going to be interesting to see what old Mr. Tucker from Boston, Massachusetts. How about that? HarpoonDesigns.com on that Toyota Camry.
And you got to remember, Jacob, he put it on pole. So he's back to where he started this race. So he's doing good. He's like, I'm happy. I'm back exactly where I am. And after all that shenanigans, although now, Jacob, he is the only man that has stayed out. So he's running on tires that have been there since lap 37. And I got a feeling he has. Well, he can't. If he jumps in the pit road now, he's going to lose all those places because have a look at that track map. They're all bunching up. So what can he do? I mean, he's going to be a sitting duck unless he's praying for a cautions breed cautions, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's basically what you're aiming for right there. You know, cautions breed cautions. Try to get what you can get. And also, folks, this is actually completely different from the Friday night series because in the Friday night series, obviously, they don't have a fast repair. In this series, there is a fast repair, so they are able to get their car fixed. So a bunch of them, they get caught up in that accident right there. If their car was damaged big time, they will be able to go ahead, burn that fast repair. If they hadn't already burned it, like say Scott Formosa, I believe he already burned his probably from the earlier on crash. But if they did have that fast repair available to them, they'll be able to go ahead, use it right here. But they got to be careful right here, Dean, because we still got a long way to go. 44, 45 laps, give or take, to the end of this thing. You don't want to screw up right now, get caught up in an accident, and completely screw your race.
You're right. It's kind of like if you will play Monopoly, I think the board game before and past. It's like you had that get out of jail free card earlier in the game. It's like, do I use it now or do I just play it later on? Say, for example, you only had one get out of jail free card. Anyway, what we are going to get at the moment is green from Barney. So let's see how it all pans out. And are these drivers holding off their fast repairs for perhaps another later caution? Or perhaps it's the time to shine.
We'll see what happens. Green flag is in the air. Steve Tucker, Patrick Trebek on the front row. Wow, it is absolutely crazy to see these restarts because it seems like these guys take the top side and the bottom lane, they just can't go. Dean, I mean, they really cannot go. They cannot get it on the loud pedal and fire off while the leader does, but obviously the leader is able to get that advantage. Wow, Bernal tried to see if he could cut the block on Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith just slicing through him like cheese at a Subway. Wow, Eddie Smith goes from 5th all the way up to 3rd. McQuiggan, he's going to go to the lead. Tucker's going to be able to slide back into that 2nd spot. Eddie Smith's going to be able to get the 3rd, and we got a caution coming off of turn 4. Brandon Wallace in the 09, he goes around.
That's absolutely, well, this is exactly what that's an all-out power smashed up motor vehicle at the moment. There's a lot of cars involved, actually. This is exactly what the driver wanted, wasn't it? Where are they? Have they gone to pit road already? I think that was. Let's have a look at the replay of that one, actually. I think Patrick is involved in this incident as well, too, Jacob. There's got a lot of race control reports to go through for a second.
Absolutely. Patrick Trebek was the one that actually, I guess you could say, initiated the the caution if you want to
Oh,
look
there
at
it
it
is.
like that. But
Ooh.
wow, there he goes. Oh, wow. 0-7 straight up into the fence. I think he actually drifted up. Actually, no, he got loose.
Yep.
Nobody even touched him right in turn 3. He just snapped loose and then slides right up into the 44. 44's got absolutely nowhere to go. That's Jason Taylor. There you see Trebek. How about Evans back there?
Evans
wow,
got tagged.
what a drive.
Oh, does he get
wow,
through?
that could
No.
have been.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no.
he didn't
He
get
ends
through.
up getting in the left front. And then Formosa goes around like a damn tornado all the way around. Another big one. Here at Michigan, ironically on the front stretch, where the first one was. So, I mean,
huge.
that is a straight up huge accident right there, here at Michigan. But wow, that is absolutely crazy right there, Nate.
I hope Jake gets away with this one. I don't think Locker's got any damage if he gets his pit box. Brandon Wallace, you're going to start seeing some ding cars coming here at the moment. You may see some drivers retire if they don't have any fast repairs left because, you know, it's too much damage. There's Patrick. Our car's looking pretty dinged up at the moment. He's already spent a minute and change there in pit road. Unless either that, there's Scott, there's Brandon. He's come back in and out. Doug, I think, has just retired from the session. He's been sitting there for a good old 20 minutes and change. You know what? Stick with it because if you can get out, maybe it can help Jake towards the end. No, you never know. Family members can stick up for each other. But that's it so far, my friend, that have gone down a pit road. Most of them look pretty good. So even after that big ding, I wouldn't say it's the end of the world there. As Jill 36 goes, let's go 36. And that's George Jewell, of course. So it looks like it's George's missus out there that's supporting him on. If it's correct or not there, Shasta.
Absolutely. And, you know, folks out there in that live chat, go ahead and key up. You know, who you think's going to win this. Now, if you have just missed the big one and you end up calling somebody out, then we're going to call you out. So just giving you a heads up because you should have been watching at 8 o'clock when we went live. I mean,
Do you think we got time real quick to grab a driver in here for a second? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. We may have a little bit of
pace
time.
car lights just went out. I don't want to talk to him right now.
Yeah. We don't want to screw them up because obviously, I mean, you know, if it was 2 to go, we go ahead and bring a driver in. But I mean, this is Dean. I mean, this is when it's probably going to get really, really interesting if it hadn't already got interesting from the start. But right here, they're going to come to the line. It's going to be 40 laps to go when they take the green. It's pretty much send it at this point because I believe they're going to be able to make it on fuel. If they are careful, they will be able to make it on fuel. So it's full send right here.
But what about Steve Tucker? He boxed on lap 37. I don't think he's gassed up to the end. His tyres certainly are going to be struggling. He could make it, but he's got everybody around him that box, he's always said box, pitted on lap 54. Remember, they've been doing a bunch of laps under caution at the moment. So those, the laps under caution don't really count too much in your tyre wear. So he's going to be a sit and tuck. But he didn't manage to hold off. And once again, Steve Tucker could be praying, all right, let me get another couple of cautions there. And I've got a bunch of fresh tyres. 4 of those sets. Shiny new, that fresh tyre smell waiting for him in the garage too. Some of these other drivers might not have too many left. I think, if anything, because they've both been in the pit road 2 times now, Jacob, there's only one more set remaining for everybody, mostly on the field.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I think maybe everybody's going to be trying to save that set, try to see if they can hold on to it for a green, white checker, but hell, who knows what's going to happen. McQuiggan up on the top side, green flag. Tucker does not get a good jump. Once again, the outside lane is going to prevail in a big way right here on this restart. Bernard up on the top side as well. Eddie Smith straight up boxed in, got absolutely nowhere to go. Tucker's dropping like a rock. Eddie Smith almost ends up getting into him. The 57 of Barber, he's going to go around. Tucker dropping hugely like a rock all the way from the second spot. He's getting bypassed by everybody as now he's in a side-by-side battle with, I believe, Ryan Pendleton. Pendleton down on the bottom side trying to find his way to get around Tucker. He's going to bring McCreary with him. But how about Eddie Smith up there in that Tide car all the way up to third? He is trying to run down Bernard and try to go ahead and get hold of that second spot.
And we saw Eddie just charging to the field last time with a power speed on the outside there, the 52. Ricardo is really, really, really trying to hold him off in there, but you're trying to hold off Eddie Smith at the moment. They're going to be door banging. Maybe there was a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of Eddie, you got me, as Joshua, that Canadian, the man from the north. He is just absolutely obliterating everybody once he's up there. I mean, I've never seen a driver gain so much of an advantage so quickly, but will that come into play later on for his tyres? You can see Steve Tucker still holding on P7 there, Jacob, but he is hurting. He's feeling the pain.
Yeah, he's hurting big time right now. And I mean, what I'm thinking is Tucker probably should have said, you know what, maybe I need to change exactly what I got going on, or maybe this may end up working for Tucker. We'll see how it works out here in just a little bit. But McCreary, he's up here right in front of him in that 6th spot. Ryan Pendleton in 5th. And, you know, we talked about McCreary a while ago. McCreary's actually been one of those guys that we saw way up there at the front, obviously started in 9th. He's been basically at the front all race long. So that 83 of Mark McCreary, he may have something to say about this whole thing when it's all said and done. There you see old Jake back here. Jake Ellingson way back here.
That's
That
Steve
12th
Tucker.
spot.
Bye-bye.
Tucker.
Oh, no.
Wow. It's
Steve's
like, I mean, it's
gone.
like he just dropped anchor and just slid back right there and got past my Bobby Jermaine back there. Wow, Tucker he just dropped anchor right there, Dean.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's a poor decision, but, you know, he could be gambling on the fact that there could have been another caution. Once again, the caution's been precautions. So Jake, of course, is trying to make his way back up through the field there after he was leading with most of the pack there. Eddie Smith holding on tight there. Robert, big position gainer at the moment, isn't it? Safe 57 machine. What was you looking at the moment? Back here, isn't it? Who's gone on the inside apron to escape this adventure for the mid-pack?
Wow, it almost got seriously bad right back there in the back. The 28, Brian Provo, almost just straight up killed everybody back there in the back. He just got super loose going into 3 and 4. I mean, hell of a save back there by Mr. Provo, but that could have been very, very dangerous back there for everybody back there. But great driving by everybody to be able to get around him, and a hell of a save by Provo. There you see Lucas Lyons in the 48. He's right behind Jake Ellingson. Ellingson, wow, he just snaps and goes straight up the racetrack. Jumps right out of the way of Lucas
He's
Lyons.
3 abreast, maybe.
So here we go, almost 3 wide right there for just a little bit of a second with Alan Marshall. How about this, 25th up to 9th? So a lot of big movers right now, Dean. I mean, 25th up to 9th, that's a hell of a move. And Brandon Wallace back there in the 09, he got caught up in an accident earlier. Tyler Justice in the 33. Got them all mixed up right there. He started 27th. He's up here trying to look inside that top 10.
And these are legitimate places too, because these drivers all mainly at pit stop. Jake is the one that's actually on the freshest boots, believe it or not, but only by about 4 laps and change. Not a lot to make a huge difference. Eddie Smith now trying to, actually Robert right here, Robert Barber trying to hunt down the 57 machine on the 87. Ends of a 7 between these two drivers. Hopefully on lap 67. There you go. I'm calling out all the numbers here this evening, Jacob.
Yeah, we're calling them all out. We're basically like we're letting out the lottery numbers right now, Dean. That's what we're trying to do right here. Go ahead and pick you a number, see if it's on your lottery ticket, and see if you end up getting it. How about this man right here, Robert Barber? We didn't talk a lot about him so far here in this race, and he is looking to be at the right place at the right time right now up here battling with Eddie Smith for that 2nd spot. You're going to see a lot of this, and obviously you've seen a lot of it too, Dean, with this side drafting. We talked about with this car being very, very aerodynamic. You got to be able to try to get every little bit that you can. And if you got a side draft to pull somebody back to be able to hold on to your spot, there you see Barber. You can side draft from the left side or the right side, however you want to do it, just to try to pull them back. But, I mean, a lot of hard side drafting right here between Eddie Smith and Barber, and both of them making it look good and making it look really clean. Barber going to slide up in front of Eddie. Eddie thought about going to the bottom, thought different about it. He actually hits him in the back end, but obviously nothing intentional right there. I think Eddie's just trying to get Barber to say, hey, you got me, buddy. Go ahead, gas it up, see if you can go catch McQuickie.
I'll tell you what's even more exciting is you actually got the ladies out there in the chat, right, supporting their drivers, their men. And look at that, you know, sorry, they're apologizing about their drivers overtaking each other out there. This is absolutely amazing. And of course, we're talking about Jewel and Jake that are right here, right now in this place. You don't get that very often, and thank you very much for those ladies tuning in for that one, Jacob. Yeah, this is fantastic, road motor racing, isn't it? To have the ladies going, and see, that's the thing about the ladies. They're so apologetic, but of course the drivers, the blokes, not so much. If they get into a door banging.
Only on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, folks. I mean, if you love this entertainment, you love what you're hearing, you love what you're seeing, go ahead, give it a follow,
Steve
give
Tucker
it a like,
down.
give all the love. Wow, I mean, that's NASRA, man. I mean, honestly, that's the NASRA 360 Racing Network. That's why we love to do
Well, here
this.
they go right now, my friend. Here we go. Let's see how the ladies going to handle these drivers going for it too for now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens right here. I mean, Jake right here with Joel. Joel able to get back around Jake, obviously. Jake passed Joel. If anybody was watching in the live chat, Jake passed him. And now George is going to end up getting back by Jake. Right behind him, Alan Marshall just slid it way up the racetrack. Almost got in the fence, but he was able to keep it out of the fence, which is where he needed to keep it at. But looks like right now, for the most part, I believe Joel's got the sucker in the hand so far.
And there you have it. So, and Jake needs a little bit of a ray out there. Come on, no, don't let him do it. This is now the battle, I'd have to say, for the partners, isn't it? And they get a lap traffic car. Well, not lap traffic cars. That's a 48 currently at the moment. Lucas Lyons, who was well up the front there, battling with everybody earlier. And he's like, I don't want to be involved at the moment. I don't want to get the Sheilas involved, per se, if I get my Australian out there. So we'll see if that one pans out there, Jacob.
Yeah, we'll see if it works
Get
out.
back
But
up the
Lyons,
front.
I mean, Lyons trying to hold them off. And up front there, you see Eddie Smith. He's trying to hold off Bernard, Pendleton, and McCreary. All three, six drivers really have separated themselves. While Bernard, he actually gets up into the fence. That's going to open the door wide open. Paycheck opportunity for Ryan Pendleton to be able to take it down on the bottom. He's going to get clear. He's going to think about sliding up. At least I would. Maybe not, because Bernard, he's going to take a shot. But he was able to cut him off, be able to make it work. Now Bernard, he's going to take a shot to the inside. Pendleton gets up into the fence. You see it all right here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, riding on board with Mark McCreary. All that going on right in front of him is Pendleton, Bernard, all over one another. But there you see the battle shaping up for this lead. Robert Barber is really starting to reel in McQuiggan, and also Eddie Smith right behind Barber as well. Both of them starting to run down the race leader.
This is in good wheel-to-wheel action you can see currently at the moment. Look at that. It's good. I like actually going back in that driver and seeing how it is. And you can feel from a driver's perspective, it's like, where do I go? These two are battling. I'm also battling them, but I need to find a gap car somewhere on the track, and I don't want to be involved in an incident. And there it is, tucks in behind. Mark is now the one in the middle, and he's got the pressure in forwards and backwards. He has to look at his mirrors. He has to look at the track, of course, and he has to also look in his rearview mirrors. Otherwise, just tear him off there and just focus forward. Jake is going for it with Lucas and Marshall, and George, of course, has gained that position. So he's got a car between him and Jake in that little inter-war battle with the misses and all that sort of jazz that's out there. Currently at the moment, Robert is starting this lap traffic as well too, I'd have to say, Jacob, mate, come into play a little bit, because there it is. There's Joshua and there's Robert. Robert's hunting him down big time, and Eddie Smith lurking in the background, P3. 26 to go.
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry, folks. I'm still laughing over here because I'm getting a kick out of this Jake and George fight, because I'm telling you, Dean is absolutely loving every bit of that. And here we go. You just mentioned it. Battle for the lead. Barber on the outside, McQuiggan down on the bottom. Eddie Smith there in that 87 Tide car. He's going to try to see if he can hold on with Barber. Barber not able to get clear just yet. McQuiggan, he's going to fight hard on that inside. Try to see if he can be able to make it work. But to no avail. Barber is clear for a second now. He is clear, all clear. But now he's not going to have to worry about Napa. He's going to have to worry about the Tide car. Eddie Smith slides right past McQuiggan. McQuiggan goes from first to third with Eddie Smith right in front of him. And now it's going to be between Barber and Eddie Smith, or it could be McCreary. It could be Pendleton. It could be Bernard, or any of these guys back here. Top six. All throw a blanket over them as they go by the stripe. 24 laps to go.
Never get to throw a blanket over a reference that you'll mention. I notice it as well too, that many of the fantastic broadcasters do it. This is the further battle at the moment. still occurring here, but I still want to keep my... Oh, what a way to shut the door there. Jake shuts it on George. So this is going to be fantastic fight, but gentlemen, hold that, because we have to keep our eyes at the front there. Choreograph your overtakes for the camera. 24 to go, Jacob.
Oh, God, I had to mute my mic. I'm telling you, you're absolutely loving every bit of that. And I am, too, to be honest with you, because I've never had anything happen like that in my broadcasting career right there. But, I mean, that's awesome to see. But there you see it. Like I said, throw a blanket over them. All 6 of them right here. Barber, he leads in a 57. Eddie Smith right behind him in the Tide car. You got the Napa car, throwback, I guess you could say, to Chase Elliott in the 29 of Joshua McQuiggan. Then right behind him, Mark McCreary. He's lined up right behind him with Ryan Pendleton. And not too far back, actually, Bernal, he's actually slipped back just a little bit. McCreary, he's trying to fight hard on this inside, trying to hold on to that 4th spot. Pendleton thought about it, but was not able to make it work. McCreary, he's going to actually look to the outside. So McQuiggan, he is really, really in a bad spot right now. McQuiggan, obviously, he shot out there. He had a fantastic lead. But now he is right in the middle of a hornet's nest, right behind the Tide car of Eddie Smith, and right in front of that number 83 of Mark McCreary.
And look at this, exactly. Has Joshua shot out the gate a little bit too much leading in that? He had a huge advantage course. There is lap traffic up the road, so which you pick that car up the road there, that's the 21 machine. Where did they go? Because these 3 are looking to go. I wouldn't go 3 abreast of that lap car right now, gentlemen. You want to see Barney in 21 laps to go. You don't want to see a fence or a medical center or Nicole Kidman if you're talking about Days of Thunder. Well, then again, you would. But anyway, we want to talk about, 20 years ago, you see Nicole Kidman. I'd still see her now. Down the back stretch there, Jacob.
I ain't got really nothing to say about that one, honestly, with the Nicole Kidman deal. I mean, I love that movie. I really do. And that was a fantastic movie. Shout out to Days of Thunder. It was an absolutely fantastic movie. And we're fixing to see some Days of Thunder.
And they're making a
here.
number
Here
2,
we go,
apparently.
McQuiggan.
Yeah.
McQuiggan,
Oh.
he's going to get a run. Wow, he's right up behind Eddie Smith. Actually hits him in the right rear just a little bit.
Ooh.
But this is normal right here, folks. This is bump drafting right here. These guys trying to stay in the draft, try to carry the momentum, try to get where they can get. Smith takes a shot down the bottom. McQuiggan all but sideways, slipping the seams, not wait to Sunday. Here comes
Catching
Ryan Pendleton
the car.
in the 23rd, in the 23.
Wow.
Down on the bottom. He's going to get some help from Barber. McCreary up here as well as they just slide right by the lap car.
George, blink for a second. No blinking, George. No, we want to keep that battle going between you and Jacob. And also Lucas in the mix there. But battle up further there. Robert, this is it. This is a 5-horse race at the moment, I think, Jacob. Even more, actually.
6.
6. There you go.
Yep,
I can't count.
Ricardo.
And then hopefully
Ricardo,
everybody
come
else can
back
catch
up.
him. Oh,
Yeah.
there's your door bang.
Oh, look at this. We may see some 4 wide right
Yeah.
here. Pendleton, McCreary. Barber tries to see if he can slide up here. He is going to make it 3 wide. Here comes Bernard. Hell, why not? Send it down to the bottom, Ricardo. Good. Give us some 4 wide. He's going to think different of it, keep it up on the top side. But Barber able to get around Pendleton. And here comes McCreary. Now he's up on the top side. They're going back 3 wide once again. Pendleton almost gets into McCreary. Barber stuck on the bottom. Pendleton able to slide by and get the 4th spot. But Eddie Smith trying to get away from Joshua McQuiggan. But it's a hornet's nest. I keep saying hornet's nest because I'm telling you, it could be crazy. I mean, one small move for any of these guys right here, Dean, and it's gonna be a travesty. It's gonna be chaos.
They are not guys. They are gladiators. This is the arena,
Yes.
the Coliseum right now, and it's showing a performance on it at the moment. And thankfully, and that's right, ladies, at the moment, everybody will be okay. Family members and all that. You will see your gladiators at the end of the match. They will live to see more and more racing. 18 to go, but hopefully this is fantastic because 17 to go now because we want to see green to the end. This is also going to come down to how far have you stretched your tires? How much gasoline do you have in this racing machine? Oh, my pilot didn't even know it. And, well, it's going to be kind to your car as Eddie is in the lead there. Joshua hunting him back down. Joshua did back off a little bit, didn't he? But now he's in the hunt.
Yeah, he's backing off a little bit, but now he's all up in the back bumper. McCreary not too far back either. Pendleton back here as well, holding down the 4th spot. Barber still got 5th. Ricardo, he's back here just trying to just wait. I think he's actually waiting for something to pop off up here with this top 5 and be able to slide by it and get him a couple of spots, because he just looks like, I mean, obviously he started 8, so we know he's got a fast car. And he's been up here at the front. We see him at the back. I mean, hell, everybody's flip-flopped so much here in this race. There's been guys that's been at the front, they've been at the back, and then back to the front, and vice versa. However you want to look at it, as Pendleton almost went all the way to the back. McCreary, he had to get out of the gas big time. He's going to let Barber right by. So Barber now, he's going to go up to 4th. Pendleton's going to go to 3rd. And wow, McCreary goes from 3rd to 5th. But now he's going to try to fight hard. He's going to try to get back to Barber. He's going to be able to get to the inside. Barber up on the top side, trying to draft off the 3 lead cars. But he looks like he's not going to be able to get it done. McCreary going to fight hard on the inside, as there you see McQuiggan all up in the back bumper of Eddie Smith, just trying to pressure him for every little bit that he can.
Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to throw you in the washing machine right now and spin 87 machine. And, of course, Eddie's going to be like, you want to be, I'm going to see Barney first and get that green flag. But Joshua wants nothing of it. Here we go. Send up the inside.
Absolutely. I mean, and
Oh.
there you see McQuiggan. He's actually going to be able to get the run. Eddie actually may have got up to tap the fence a little bit. So McQuiggan, he's going to be able to get by. Eddie Smith, he's going to go back to 2nd. Pendleton back there in 3rd. Just trying to see what's going to happen at this point. McCreary, he's actually kind of, or I guess you could say, pulled the Ricardo strategy. He slipped back just a little bit. Barber as well.
Oh, and look at this battle
there you see
brewing
Ricardo
again
back here as
between
well.
these
I
two.
mean, wow. I mean, this battle's all over the place. It's Tyler
George.
Justice back here.
Yeah.
He's trying to get around some other guy. I mean, just so much racing going on. That's why we love Michigan. That's like I said, that's why I love this place. I do good in officials, do good in league races here. But I absolutely love this place just because of the speed and I guess you could say the draft effect and all that good stuff. That's why a lot of people love this place.
And George just got, let's see if George can hold on at the moment. He's trying to get past Tyler Justice because Jake is going to hunt them down there. So that's going to be one for everybody out there in the audience, I know. And thank you very much, 500 subscribers. And you're all a part of this fantastic family at Nazareth. And we do our best to absolutely keep the entertainment, especially as well. I will every once in a while, and I'm sure we'll focus those cameras on the supporters of their friends and family, you know, their partners and everybody are part of that, because I think that's what the engagement of we have on the Nazareth network, and I'll do it because of that engagement. You want to get out of there, you want to shout out a driver or a friend that you want to support. Every time I get a chance, I'll throw that camera on them. At the moment, I have to throw the camera on the top 4 at the moment, 12 to go.
Absolutely. I mean, and, you know, shout out to, I mean, Dean, I'll kind of just follow right along with you on that. Shout out to all 500 of you out there for following. I mean, honestly, one of the best broadcasting networks on iRacing. I mean, you know, I came into this, well, actually, we'll get to it here in a second, because here we go, McQuiggan. See, I always want to do a little bit of history lesson with them, Dean, and then these guys just straight up go up through there and say, screw it, we're going for it right now. McQuiggan, he's up on the top side. Pendleton down on the bottom. We've seen both of these guys struggle at different points in this race. Maybe, yes, they door banged just a tick, but it wasn't enough to actually call it a door bang. I guess you could call it side draft, however you want to look at it. But Eddie Smith, he wants these guys to race, Dean. He wants these guys to race their hearts out and try to get Eddie Smith. He's in that clean air. He's trying to chug along and get away. But now Pendleton, he's going to be able to get to, I believe, McQuiggan, he's actually going to be still in 2nd. Pendleton back in 3rd. Like I said, Eddie Smith trying to love all the clean air he can. 10 to go, Dean.
All aboard the Eddie train. Choo-choo, because he's going to be looking to get the next stop and the 100th stop, of course, which will be the winner of the race. But you said it. He wants them battling, but I think everybody else has chatted out there, because Joshua, Ryan, and Mark have got a gold class ticket to the end of this train race, which is the AKA Eddie Smith, 87 machine.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, Barber and Bernal, they are way back here. I mean, they have dropped off big time. Barber not necessarily dropped off that much, but Bernal's all by himself. Bernal's actually going in. The 51. sitting in the 6th
Wow.
spot. He's actually going to go
Daylight
down
dollar
pit
short.
road.
Oh, he's running out of
And
gas.
locked it up,
He's out of
trying to
gas.
go in. That's a
For
possibility.
sure.
He may have actually blinked a little bit, so he may have been running low on fuel. These guys, I mean, obviously, we talked about it. I think they can make it. From what I've noticed, I believe they can make it, Dean. But there is that possibility. As hard as
Wow.
some of these guys might have been driving, there's
Oh.
a possibility they may be really, really close on fuel as McQuiggan trying to take another shot at Eddie Smith.
I was going to ask actually Ray out there because Jake is the one that's boxed 4 laps later than everybody else, so he might have a little bit more gasoline than everybody else. They could all run out of fuel towards the end of it. All they have to lift off big time. That means these other players will come in there. And Mrs. Jewel, cool out there, let us know as well. And give us a little insight. Then again, drivers might be listening to this, so I don't know if you want to give it up too much. But 8 to go is going to come by pretty quickly. Ryan, 17 positions gained. The 23 machine. He's got Michael Jordan, of course, support, doesn't he? The old school days. He gets behind NASCAR. He's like, all right, Ryan, if you're going to run with the 23 machine, let's see if you can slam dunk past these two. Oh, what a
Wow.
save.
Eddie Smith, he actually gassed it up. I think McQuiggan might have actually got a little bit loose, and then Eddie Smith damn near finished off the 29.
And now Ryan's going for the lead. He has 7 to go.
Oh, here comes Pendleton now. He's going to fight hard on the inside. How about McCreary? Mark McCreary. We talked about him a while ago. He's not too far right behind this battle. McQuiggan, he's not out of the fight just yet. But wow, I mean, 4-horse race basically with Eddie Smith, Ryan Pendleton, Mark McCreary, and Joshua McQuiggan. Basically just place a bet, Dean, who's going to win it as they come to 6 laps to go this time by.
You can't box out. You can't go to pit road right now. It's too late. It's all about what you have left. And of course, remember, these drivers can't afford to lift. You can't just save and coast, lift and coast. You are battling it out in the die-harding stage of the Coliseum here of Michigan, and you need to get it done. And every driver wants it. Eddie wants it. Mark wants it. And Ryan, of course, who was 17 positions gained in the 23, he's lurking in the background. And then Joshua is just there to, I'll tell you what. And then, you know what? Take out Robert. Just slowly creeping in the background. Has Robert saved enough at the end to catch the top 4?
Yeah, we'll see what happens right here. But actually, McQuiggan able to get around Ryan Pendleton. So McCreary sitting in that 2nd spot. He may end up playing a little bit of a spoiler here. But check it out. Wow, McQuiggan is all over the place. Almost lost it again coming off a 4. Pendleton's going to give him the shove. Eddie Smith is trying to check out, but McQuiggan getting very, very aggressive on that wheel. 5 laps to go. That 29 is wanting to try to catch that 87. Pendleton tried to jump down, tried to get clear, but McCreary is not going away.
Who's in
Here
the
comes
background?
the 52. That's Bernal.
Yes.
The one driver that
Unlapping.
actually went down just a second ago. He's trying to get up here and get one of his laps back and try to get back on the lead lap. Right in the middle of all this battle right here for the 2nd spot.
I wonder if his spotters are letting him be aware that there's a big battle going on at the moment. That's just throwing a spanner in the mix at the moment. He's perfectly enabled. He's perfectly allowed to unlap himself, but it's going to throw those other drivers off. It's going to throw them very frustrated, I'd imagine. And Eddie's going to be like, thank you very much. Do it, my friends. A 4 to go. I'm happy with that because Eddie looking to win this one. But who wants the rest of those podium celebrations up the road there? Because Joshua holding on P2 where he started. Ryan, 17 positions. He says, I want 18. I can reach out and grab it. And Mark lurking in the background.
Yeah, I mean, and there you see actually McQuiggan. He's up here in that 2nd spot. Bernal right behind him. Bernal may end up trying to help him, but McQuiggan gets out of the gas big time. Almost lost it again off of 4. 3 laps to go. Eddie Smith has got a huge lead now at about 7/10 of a second.
This could be strategy. It could be strategy.
McCreary, both of them still fighting hard for the 3rd
Yeah.
spot. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think Bernal is maybe trying to help McQuiggan.
He is.
Maybe get
He
back
is.
up there
He
and try
is.
to help out and get to Eddie Smith.
It's the only way you're going to get to Eddie right now. He has such an advantage. He needs a push. And I guess that's a little bit of a teammate, but you've got to be very, very careful as well, too, because if you do make a mistake, you turn your own friend or teammate, and that's it. A P2, I'll take it any day of the week over a P1, but, you know, you don't want to take a DNF if you get it all wrong, because, you know, Ryan and Mark at the background there, they need to start working together. Ryan and Mark have to work together at this point. If you want a race victory, work together right now with one to go. That's it. No, it's too late at this point. You going for gold. And I'll tell you what, one man got in gold, and maybe on the top step right here is Eddie.
Yeah, I think it may be all over at this point unless something barring something crazy happened right here with 2 laps to go, Eddie Smith has straight up saved enough. He has straight up checked out, and that 87 is gone as he works his way off of turn number 4, Joshua McQuiggan. He's just trying to hold on. I think he's just trying to finish this race and get down to the end of it. Pendleton McCreary still battling hard for that 3rd spot. White flag is in the air over the Tide car. Eddie Smith, he has the lead, and looks like he's going to be able to get away with it scot-free unless he screws it up right here.
Aren't you
That
cursing?
Tide Ford 87's looking pretty good. I said screw it up. I kept it straight. But Eddie Smith looks like he is absolutely gone. Bernal, he tried to help McQuiggan out the best he could. He finally had enough of it and ends up going around him. But here we go.
Oh, there's
Eddie
still a battle for
Smith,
P3.
through turn 3 and 4, they're still battling back there for that 3rd spot with McCreary and Pendleton. Hell of a battle for the 3rd spot, but your winner here at Michigan, Eddie Smith gets the win. Photo finish for 3rd. Brian Pendleton is going to be able to get it by about 1/10 of a second. It was closer than what I thought it was. Or actually, it was, you know what I mean, Dean. I mean, I thought it was closer, but it wasn't. About 1/10 of a second, Brian Pendleton ends up getting 3rd, and right in the middle, Joshua McQuiggan, who started on the outside pole, he ends up finishing there. And how about Robert Barber? Back there, 15th up to 5th. Great race by every single one of these guys.
Absolutely fantastic. That was brilliant. That was absolutely grand. I think everybody in the audience enjoyed it very much, and I hope they did. And they have acknowledged that one, and that's why we have 500 fantastic subscribers who are the Nazareth Network. Just getting started, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We are just getting started. You have an A-class team at the moment, especially with Jacob, and you have an A-class list of drivers and an A-class man right now to be burning that tide machine around to take the victory.
Eddie Smith burning it down on the front stretch right at the start-finish line, give or take. Doing a fantastic job showing us how to get, or basically showing us how to do some burnouts right here at the start-finish line. He's going to smoke it all the way. He ain't got to worry about them tires at all anymore. Eddie Smith gets the win. There you see the race results. Eddie Smith gets the win. McQuiggan, fantastic job for the Canadian from up north. He's going to end up holding on and getting a 2nd place finish. And Ryan Pendleton, Mark McCreary, Pendleton able to get the better of Mark McCreary, come home 3rd. Nothing to shy away from that. I mean, hell of a run for him. 17 spots, started 20th. He ends up finishing 3rd. Mark McCreary will end up finishing 4th. Robert Barber, how about this? 15th up to 5th. Good run for Mr. Barber. He's going to finish in the 5th spot. Lucas Lyons, 17th up to 6th. George Jewell, he's going to be able to go ahead and outdo Jake Ellingson in the live chat and on the racetrack. Joel is going to get 7th, as well as Ellingson will finish in the 8th spot. Tyler Justice is going to round out 9th, and Alan Marshall, both of these drivers, Marshall actually started 25th. Tyler Justice started 27th. They're going to finish 9th and 10th, respectively. Brian Provo, he had a pretty good run. I mean, he was loose at one point. I mean, damn near lost it at one point. He's going to end up finishing in the 11th spot. It's a good run for Brian. Brandon Wallace, he's going to end up finishing 12th with Bobby Germain finishing 13th. Cameron Mason 14th. Joe Hobbs, he's the last driver to finish on the lead lap in 15th. The rest of these drivers 1 lap down or more. Ricardo Bernal, Chris Sawyer in the 21, we saw him a little bit up there with the leaders. He ends up finishing 17th. Steve Tucker, hate to see it for the pole sitter, 2 laps down. He's going to finish in the 18th spot. John Anthony, he's going to finish 19th. And Brandon Barrier is going to round out the top 20. Jason Taylor is going to finish 21st with Daniel Blow in 22nd. Jamie Barkus is going to be 23rd with Scott Formosa. Hate to see it for him. He was looking pretty good up there at the front. 24th. These 2 drivers, this is big right here. Patrick Drabik, Brandon Evans, 25th, 26th. Both these drivers started inside the top 5. Hate to see it for both of those drivers. Then Daniel Cunningham, he's going to finish in the 27th spot with Kyle Westby finishing 28th. And Doug Ellingson is going to finish 29th. He's the last driver to start this race. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the podium finishers.
Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations. Made with love.
Folks, we are back here at Michigan. You saw a fantastic race here in the Next Gen Series with Goat Locker. Eddie Smith, he gets the win. And we're actually going to bring up Eddie Smith up here in the booth. Eddie Smith, congratulations on the win, buddy. Tell us about that race because it was an absolute barn burner from up here in the booth.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, that was
it was a blast.
That was awesome. Yeah, trying to learn this next gen. I'm really relatively new to it, so I'm still trying to learn the air and stuff, how it works, and I got a pretty good crash course from Joshua, Robert Barker, Ryan. A lot of those guys that we were running up there, man, Joshua was super fast, and so I was just kind of laying back watching what he was doing, trying to pay attention, and trying to learn how to kind of use that side draft a little bit. And we got in good position. I just didn't want to. I tried to not battle too much with people, try to stay in at least the top three, so I didn't get kind of shuffle back. And we had a couple cautions trying to manage the tires. We only had 4 sets total, so just trying to make sure we maintain that, didn't use too many tire sets, and just try to keep that track position. That's really the whole idea, I think.
Absolutely. Obviously, big win, obviously, Michigan, but, we talked about it, with this place. Obviously, it's like I said on the broadcast, y'all were hauling ass going into turn one. Over 200 miles an hour going in. You mentioned the tire wear and everything. It's just unbelievable to see the speeds, I guess, in these next gen cars. It's just absolutely crazy. But there we see the battling with Ryan Pendleton. You talked about him. What was the key to get the win here tonight? Was it? It was basically just saving your tires, pretty much, right?
Oh, I don't know. I started off saving tires early, and I ended up losing like 6 spots at the very beginning. So I think it was just a mixture of, trying to manage your tires. I stayed in 5th pretty much the whole race until the very last 10 laps or so, just to try to make sure I didn't heat up the right rear, because I noticed even in 5th I'd get a little bit too loose off the corner, and guys are really starting to slide. So I probably hurt myself early by just staying in 5th the whole time, but I think it was just trying to stay up in the top 3, top 2, but also not run your tires too hard and not battle when you didn't need to. I think that's the big key, because if you get side by side, you kind of start side drafting and just kind of pulling each other back, constantly. And if you can't make the pass, then you end up losing a whole bunch of ground. So there was a couple times I some guys were getting good runs and got a good, line on me, and I just went ahead and let them, have the spot, so we didn't sit there and lose any more time. So I think just trying to stay up near the front, but not battling too hard early in the runs. I think that's probably what did it.
Well, Eddie Smith gets the win, and Eddie, just real quick, we talked about this on the broadcast, kind of a history, kind of a throwback to your sponsor that you had back in the Truck Series. I asked Dean about it. At first, he couldn't remember it. I was like, come on, you got to remember it. He's like, oh, yeah, now I remember. Folks out there in the chat, he had Victoria's Secret on his Toyota. So that was absolutely fantastic. That's one thing I always remember about Eddie Smith was the Victoria's Secret on his truck when he was running in the Goat Locker Truck Series. But Eddie Smith, congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible?
Yeah, clean race, and I I don't have a clean race without Todd, man. Todd,
I was
really,
gonna say clean. That car looks clean too, my friend. That 87 is tight.
Well, shout out to Brantley at Harpoon Designs. He painted this scheme. He's done a couple schemes. Steve Tucker actually put me in, who races in the series, put me in contact. Steve Tucker always has really awesome schemes. So Brantley over at Harpoon Designs, man, he's the one who put it out. But I love a Todd ride. I think I'm fastest when I'm in that orange, yellow, and blue. So that's usually when I'm at my fastest. So thank them for sure. But Goat Locker boys, Crusin Classics for sponsoring the series. Big sponsors, Jam Printing Promotions, Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Red Beard Design, and of course you guys over at NASA 360, some of the best in the business, and I always enjoy learning from you guys and trying to see how I can improve my own broadcasts. And you guys teach me a lot, and I think you put on a hell of a show. So definitely appreciate y'all. Pat and Jamie, Jake, all the folks that put in a lot of work here to make these series as fun as they are. This place has been so improved thanks to Pat and Jamie's investment into this thing, and I think it's definitely shown by some of the best racing that I've seen on iRacing in a league in a long time. So thank y'all, and thank Todd.
Real quick, Jacob, do you reckon if we go into Eddie Smith's house right now, we just knock on the door right now, we'll do it as a live stream here on the NASRA network. We'll go straight to your laundry room. We'll say, "Is there Tide in your laundry?"
He's probably got Clorox. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But Eddie, we appreciate the kind words towards us, and obviously to your broadcasting. Congratulations on all of that, and wow, I mean, just awesome to talk to you again, Eddie. I ain't talked to you in a while, so congratulations on the win.
Has he been on
we'll
the,
see you down the
podcast?
Go ahead. Yes, he has.
Oh, yeah, there you
yes,
go.
he has. Yes,
Which
he
episode?
has. He's been a guest on the Door Banging Download.
The best one.
The best, yeah, the best one, I guess. Yes, absolutely. We had a fantastic on that, or a fantastic show on that one. But Eddie Smith, congratulations on the win. We'll see you down the road, brother.
Thanks, boys.
That was Eddie Smith here on the NRE Power post race interviews. Can't find Joshua McQuiggan. I guess he had enough of it. He wanted to go to Napa.
Josh.
Go ahead and get it lined up. Go ahead and get him some stuff for Napa. We're going to go ahead and bring in our third place finisher, Mr. Ryan Pendleton. And Ryan, I mean, tell us about the race, because, buddy, you had a hell of a battle going on right there with Mark McCreary for those final couple of laps.
Yeah, overall, I mean, for me, I had a good time tonight. It was fun. It was good racing. I know some guys are a little upset. We had a couple big wrecks there, but I mean, tough track. You could run multiple lanes. Big gap between older tires and new tires. So just a lot of different speed out there, a lot of different lanes. So it was tough to go side by side and not make some contact. It was tough to hold on to it just in general. So made for, I'm sure, an interesting race on the broadcast, but yeah, happy to come away with third.
Absolutely. And we talked to Eddie about it. I mean, he was able to, he said it was a lot of different things as to how you got the win. I mean, what was the major thing that you had to worry about tonight? Because, I mentioned tires. Obviously, it's the aero and everything, but what was the major thing that you was able to use to be able to get up here and finish third?
For me, I think the first half of the race was just staying clean, avoiding whether it was luck or just seeing some wrecks happening, mostly luck. Staying clean that first half, and then trying different lines on some of those different runs and seeing what I could get away with. The restarts were big too, which is where we had some of the issues, but it was big to try to pick up a couple positions there. But yeah, really just kind of avoid my own mistakes. It's really easy to overdrive the car and get on the gas too quick or too hard and kind of lose your rear end. But I was just trying to kind of hang in there and see if I could be at it towards the end. But Eddie was quick, and glad he got the win tonight.
Ryan, I got super excited towards the end there, my friend, because I saw the 23 in the machine, and I remember watching the NASCAR series at least and going, wow, he's got a Michael Jordan influence at the moment there. Is he going to get it done there? Is the man going to win the race there? Because you were slicing through the field. 17 positions gained, you have to remember, my friend. 17 for the 23, and I thought you could have been the one that, hook, line, and sinker like MJ used to do back in the day there, win the match in the dying stages. But your battle with Joshua was tight towards the end, my friend. But you still got some crucial. You're the biggest gainer overall in the field. Well, unless outside the top 10, inside the top 10, you got to feel proud with that one, my friend.
Yeah, it was a fun run. It was good. I didn't get a whole lot of practice, so my qualifying wasn't great. So it helped me out there for gaining all those positions. But like I said, lucked out. There were a couple incidents that took out some really quick cars, and I happened to avoid them, and that helped. But that's part of it with these cars and this track, and I kind of expected it a little bit, so happy to bring this Crusin Classics Mustang up front tonight.
Ryan Pendleton, he ends up finishing third. And Ryan, before we let you go, if you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible.
Absolutely. You guys at NASRA 360, awesome broadcast. We love going back and watching it. I know all the supporters, families, fans watch it. Red Beard Design for doing all our logos. Right Now Roofing. Huge shout out to Veterans for Life, and then Jam Printing Promotions, one of the oldest partners we have, fantastic partner there, and then of course the series sponsor of this and the sponsor of my car, Crusin Classics out of Columbus, Ohio. Awesome service and sales center, so go check them out.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan Pendleton ends up finishing third tonight. Ryan, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the third place finish, and we'll see you down the road, brother.
Thanks, guys.
That was Ryan Pendleton. Did end up finishing third. And Dean, your thoughts on a fantastic Crusin Classics Next Gen race here at Michigan?
I'm loving this. I'm loving it. You know, because I'm one from a road course, my friend. You know that, and I do it a lot, especially at the rain of late, actually, which is even more fun. But more so, there's a couple of things. Drivers did an excellent job. There's drivers at the moment that gain a lot of positions. Unfortunately, we do have to mention, obviously, you said Brandon Evans and all, well, was it Jamie, and there was a bunch of other drivers at the top of the timesheets, putting in some fantastic laps and fantastic qualifying performances. But hey, racing's racing. Accidents happen. You got to be in the right place at the right time. You will get the lucky dog every once in a while. Not the lucky dog running around, of course, but just being in the right place at the right time. Those big smashes, those pileups that we saw, isn't it? Like, you just, there's nowhere for a lot of those drivers to go. And it's just close your eyes and point the car in one direction and see how it all pans out. But overall, those and the laps that we did, and so many of them, it was not many cautions, Jacob. It was a lot of fun. And as a producer, I don't have a lot of time to click through all the action. That's fantastic, Jacob. As I always say, it's a fantastic race if you don't have time to go to replays and don't have time to look back at other things, because it's AKA not that much exciting. This was exciting every way, and I'm always proud. But not only yourself, Jacob, to be in the booth with me as always, but also the chat as well too that took place between the family members and the supporters, because that itself was gold. I've never seen that before in my 5 years of broadcasting career. So good on you, Ray.
I ain't never seen that either.
Yeah, the ladies going at it, and the ladies are going at it in the most politest way possible. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was an absolute classic for sure, folks. Hopefully we can look back on this one and say that this was Crusin Classics style racing here. I absolutely loved it. And I mean, obviously, congratulations to Eddie Smith. Congratulations to all the drivers that are out here to put on the show for you, the fans, family members, fellow co-workers, friends, however you want to look at it. I mean, big shout out to the drivers, because you got to give them a shout out, because, I mean, hell, Dean, if they're not out here on the track going around in circles, we're just sitting here. So, I mean, big shout out to them. There you see the schedule. Michigan, cross that one off the list. We are done with Michigan. Next week's going to be at the Tricky Triangle. It's going to be at Pocono. That's where the DSR Electric Truck Series is going to be Monday night. And their playoff race, the very first playoff race, for the DSR Electric Truck Series. That's Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be on that race, or I'll be in that race, rather, in that truck series. Dean, you'll be producing as well with Wesley Outland and Tyler Dittmer. And then there you see Kansas. And then after that, folks, we're going to playoff race it here in the Crusin Classics Next Gen Series. It's going to be an absolute blast to see how all of that turns out, but also want to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors. Obviously, Crusin Classics for the sponsor of the Next Gen Series. Veterans for Life, they sponsor the ARCA Series that's going to be running tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Go check it out. It's going to be an absolute blast tomorrow night. Jam Printing and Promotions, and obviously Goat Locker for everything they do, and obviously Nazareth 360 Racing Network for everything that we do. Fellow colleagues, however you want to look at it, Wesley Outland, Tyler Dittmer, me, you, Robert Hill Jr., all of us, very, very proud to be a part of this broadcasting network. And also shout out to Brady LaBeouf and Cody Knott, both of them, the big man, I guess you could say, over with Nazareth, that allow us to come out here, have a little fun on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, hell, all nights through the week. Shout out to them. We want to congratulate once again Eddie Smith for the win, for the producer, the Australian Dean Biggles. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, saying, as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and we'll see you next week.
Birds flying high drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life.